Hello and welcome back to my channel, Talk in English with Shilpi. So today what we are going to do is Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 1 and Scene 2. So first I'll give you a summary of Act 3, Scene 1. So Act 3, Scene 1 is about Salarino and Salanio. First they are talking about the news that they have received about Antonio's ship, that Antonio's ship has been wrecked. All right, so they are just um, praying or they wish that this news comes out to be false. It is like, a rumor. So they personify rumor here. I'll just read out that speech. Where is it? So Salarino says, why yet left there unchecked that Antonio had a ship of rich uh, lading wracked on the narrow seas. The Goodwins, I think. They call the place a very dangerous, flat, and fatal, where the carcass of many a tall ship lie buried. As they say, if my gossip report be an honest woman of her word. So here Salarino is giving the message that he has heard that Antonio's ship has wrecked at Goodwin, and Goodwin is a port, is a place which is very dangerous. And it is not the first time that Antonio's ship has been wrecked. Many other ships have been wrecked there, and their carcass is the skeleton basically. So the remains of the ship are there. So he says, but then he also says that I hope that this rumor comes out to be false, just like a gossip woman. All right, like a woman who gossips. So gossips are never true. So that is what he says, that it should be like a gossip. And then after that, Sherlock enters and Sherlock says, what news among the merchants? So, so he says that, how now, Sherlock, what news among the merchants? You knew none so well as you of my daughter's flight. So Sherlock here comes in and Salarino wants to confirm, because Sherlock is also a merchant. So, businessmen know about each other. So he wanted to confirm that what the news he has heard about Antonio, it's true or not. But then Sherlock comes and he accuses Salarino and Salanio of helping Jessica to elope with Lorenzo. So he says, you have helped my daughter to elope, and both of them proudly agree to it that yes, they have done it and they're not ashamed of it. And then he says, and Sherlock, for his own part, knew that the bird was flesh and that it is the complexion of them all to leave the dam. So Salanio also tells Sherlock that, see, your daughter had grown up. All right, flesh means that is when a bird's, when a bird becomes fully grown, it has feathers, so it is ready to fly off. So here he says, Sherlock, you very well knew that his daughter has grown up and she was supposed to get married and leave the house anyways. So it's not that you were not aware that your daughter will someday leave the house. So that is what he's saying. And then Salarino further says that there is a difference between thy flesh and hers, between jet and ivory, bit more between your bloods than hers, between red wine and Rhenish. So this is a very important speech. Here he is comparing Sherlock's daughter to Sherlock. He says that your daughter and you are very different. Where she is as beautiful as white as an ivory, you are as black as jet. All right, and then there is a difference between you. She is Rhenish. Rhenish is a white wine, and red wine is, see, both the wines are made from grapes. And but then the difference is that Rhenish is made in a region in Germany, Rhine region, and it is very costly and it is not available commonly. Whereas red wine is very commonly available. So he's saying that there is a world of a difference between the two of you. First of all, her heart and everything is as pure as ivory. It is white, it is pure. Whereas you are as black as jet. So here it's not just complexion he's talking about, he's also talking about the purity of the heart. And then he says that she is very valuable. Your daughter is like Rhenish, which is very expensive and not commonly available. and you are like the red wine which is commonly available. So your daughter is very exclusive. So there is no comparison between your daughter and you. And then after that, Antonio then says that, I think Sherlock says that Antonio is going bankrupt. So with that news, he actually feels very relieved and happy. So Salarino then asks him, what are you going to do with a pound of flesh? Why are you after a pound of flesh? What is going to happen? So Antonio here expresses that it is going to feed his revenge. All right, as it is, he always hated Antonio. Uh, because of not just the fact that Antonio was hampering his business, was lending out money on a very low interest rate, but also that he was a Christian, and he had almost always mocked Sherlock for being a Jew on his clothing, gabardine, the clothes that he used to wear, his beard, his outlook, everything is. So therefore, he is here taking this revenge, and he's very happy that he's got an opportunity to take revenge on Antonio. So that is the summary of scene 1, act 3, scene 1. And then in this scene, Salarino and Salanio go away, and then Tubal comes. And Tubal is the person that Sherlock had sent across to get a news of जेसिका. तो उसने जेसिका के लिए भेजा था ट्यूबल को, और ट्यूबल फिर उसको आके बताता है कि जेसिका के बारे में कुछ पता नहीं चला, लेकिन हाँ, उस ही हैड हर्ड कि जेसिका ने शी हैज she had given away a very precious ring that was given to Sherlock by Lee, a woman when he was young. So Lee most probably is Jessica's mother, and she had given away that ring in the market in exchange of a monkey. तो एटलीस्ट शार्लॉक को ये खुशी होती है कि जेसिका के बारे में पता चला, और वो ट्यूबल से कहता है कि मुझे जेसिका चाहिए, डेड और अलाइव, लेकिन मुझे वो चाहे डेड भी हो, लेकिन उसके कॉफिन में मेरे सारे ज्वेल्स और पैसे वापस चाहिए, वो सारी चीजें मेरे से लेके भाग गई है। ठीक है, तो ये है समरी एक्ट 1 सीन एक्ट 3 सीन 1 की, एंड इसकी स्पीचेस है which are important, like Sherlock when Salarino says, why I am sure if he forfeits thou wilt now take his flesh, what's that good for? So Salarino कहते हैं कि अगर वो एकदम bankrupt हो गया एंटोनियो, तो तुम उसका फ्लैश लेके क्या करोगे? तो यहाँ पे जो Sherlock की स्पीच है, that is extremely important. वो कहता है, to bait fish withal, if it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. तो वो कहता है कि जैसे हम फिश के सामने बेट, यानी कि उसको ना दाना डालते हैं पकड़ने के लिए, और फिश पकड़ में आ जाती है, वैसे ही ये जो है पाउंड ऑफ फ्लैश, इट इज लाइक गोइंग टू सेटिस्फाई माय रिवेंज। उसका पाउंड ऑफ फ्लैश लेके मुझे बहुत शांति मिलेगी। He had disgraced me and hindered me 500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked my grains, scorned my nation. तो वो कहते हैं कि उसने मुझे बहुत लॉस में डाला है, एंटोनियो ने मेरे बिजनेस को बहुत हैम्पर किया है, और उसने मॉकरी की है मेरे नेशन की। नेशन यहाँ मीन्स कि मेरे रिलीजन की, मेरे कम्युनिटी की, ज्यूज की, तो मैं उसका बदला लूंगा। इट mocked at my gains, scorned my nation, thwarted my bargains, fooled my friends, heated mine enemies. And what's his reason? So cooled my friends, that is मेरे पास जो लोग थे वो भी एंटोनियो ने ले लिए थे। कैसे? कि अगर मैं उन लोगों को हाई रेट पे पैसे देता तो वो मुझसे नहीं लेते, क्योंकि एंटोनियो उनको लेस उस पे इंटरेस्ट पे दे रहा था, या इंटरेस्ट वेव ऑफ करके दे रहा था। तो उसने ना ही मेरे बिजनेस में बहुत लॉस कराया, उसने यहाँ तक कि जो मेरे कस्टमर्स थे, जो मेरे वो थे लोग थे, उनको भी ले लिया। और उसने क्या किया है, सो इससे तो उसने मेरे एनिमीज को भी बहुत बढ़ावा दिया। एनिमीज मतलब जो मेरे अगेंस्ट काम करते थे, उनको भी इसने बहुत शेयर दिया। तो इसीलिए ये क्या रीजन इनफ नहीं है कि मैं उससे बदला लूं। फिर वो कहता है कि I am a Jew, hath not a Jew eyes, hath not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions, fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian. तो यहाँ पे शैलोक बहुत ही लॉजिकल बात कहता है क्या जो ज्यूज होते हैं उनके हाथ पैर मुंह सेंसेस इमोशंस पैशंस ये नहीं होते? क्या ज्यूज बीमार नहीं पड़ते? और क्या ज्यूज को हर्ट नहीं होता है? क्या ज्यूज वही मेडिसिन नहीं लेते जो क्रिश्चियंस लेते हैं? तो फिर क्यों मैं मतलब क्यों मेरे को ऐसे ट्रीट किया जा रहा था? क्यों मेरे साथ ऐसे डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हो रहा था? क्यों मेरी इतनी मौकरी उड़ाई जा रही थी? क्या मुझे दुख नहीं पहुंचता था? क्या जब आप मेरे रिलीजन के ऊपर हंसते थे, मेरे कपड़ों के ऊपर हंसते थे, आप मुझे हर्ट करते थे, मेरे बिजनेस को हैम्पर करते थे, तो क्या मुझे दुख नहीं पहुंचता था? क्यों मैं क्या क्रिश्चियन से अलग हूँ? क्रिश्चियंस को ही सिर्फ दुख पहुंच सकता है, क्रिश्चियंस को ही सिर्फ बीमारी हो सकती है, हमें नहीं हो सकती? हम क्या इंसान नहीं है? तो यहाँ पे शैलो कुछ गलत नहीं कह रहा था, लेकिन जो उसके बदला लेने का तरीका था वो बहुत ही क्रूअल था। तो बदला लेना वाज नॉट द फैक्ट, द फैक्ट वाज दैट ही वाज टोटली क्रूअल इन टेकिंग द रिवेंज। और भी तरीके हो सकते थे कि अगर एंटोनियो का बैंकक्रप्ट हो रहा था तो उसका पूरा बिजनेस ले ले, या एंटोनियो को प्रिजन में डलवा दे, कुछ भी कर सकता था ना, बट दिस वाज टू मच। देन ही सेज, if you prick us, do not we bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you in the rest, we will resemble you in that if a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? So he says कि अगर किसी क्रिश्चियन को प्रिक करो तो क्या उसे खून नहीं निकलेगा? तो हमें प्रिक करोगे, हमें खून नहीं निकलेगा? अगर किसी क्रिश्चियन के साथ बुरा करो तो क्या वो क्रिश्चियन रिवेंज नहीं लेगा? क्या वो क्रिश्चियन उसके अगेंस्ट नहीं बोलेगा? तो फिर मैं क्यों ना बोलूं, मैं क्यों रुकूं? ऑलराइट। एंड revenge if a Christian wrong a Jew, what should sufferance be by Christian example? Why revenge? The will you teach me, I will execute, and I shall go hard, but I will better thee. So he says कि क्रिश्चियन कैसे रिवेंज लेगा? There will be a Christian way to take revenge. तो वैसे ही अगर मेरे साथ गलत हुआ है तो मैं रिवेंज लूंगा, और ठीक है, और मैं हार्ड रिवेंज लूंगा। Okay, so I'm taking your example कि if Christians can feel hurt, if Christians can be taken action against revenge, अगर Christians को भी hurt होता है, उनको दुख पहुंचता है, तो ऐसे ही मुझे भी होता है। तो अगर आपको रिएक्शन देने का फ्रीडम है तो मुझे भी रिएक्शन देने का फ्रीडम है। ठीक है, तो एक्ट 3 सीन 1 इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज यहाँ पे दो इंसिडेंट्स हैं। पहला कि एंटोनियो की शिप के बारे में पता चलता है कि वो wreck हो गई है, वो बैंकरप्ट होने वाला है। और दूसरा कि शैलो को जब पता चलता है तो वो अपने रिवेंज को जस्टिफाई करता है कि वो क्यों वो पाउंड ऑफ फ्लेश लेना चाहता है। फिर दूसरा इंसिडेंट कि ट्यूबल से जब उसको पता चलता है कि जेसिका ने उसकी वैल्यूएबल्स और उसकी रिंग को एक्सचेंज किया है मंकी के लिए, तो हाउ ही वांट्स कि जैसे तैसे भी जेसिका को ढूंढ के लाओ, ब्रिंग हर बैक, इवन इफ शी ब्रिंग हर डेड और अलाइव, बट आई वांट माय jewels and money back. So I am going to take up only scene 1 till here. I hope you have understood the scene. कोई भी स्पीच अगर इसकी आपको समझ में नहीं आई है तो आप उसका रेफरेंस कमेंट बॉक्स में दे दीजिए। I'll explain in detail. So in my next episode, I'll take up Act 3, Scene 2.